Hey everybody, it's me, Edward Jones, back in a new video. Does human life matter? And it seems like from current news, it doesn't look nice. It doesn't seem so. It doesn't seem like it does actually matter to people. First, I want to talk about Planned Parenthood. Um, before I get into what has been found of potentially doing right now, let's go back to its history. Planned Parenthood was found by an individual named Margaret Sanger, and people hail this program as being such a wonderful thing, but her point of setting this program up was the advance the cause or the practice of eugenics, where you got where lesser where inferior groups or inferior races would be weeded out of society to make way for the stronger, more dominant races. And I think it's interesting um, that blacks support Planned Parenthood when she saw blacks as being inferior, and needing to be exterminated, need to be gotten rid of, need to be wiped out. Um, It shows that a lot of people don't know the history. And if I am incorrect about what I just said, please correct me in the comment section or make a video response or send me a PM. But that's my understanding of what Planned Parenthood was set out to be, and what it's become now. Um, I don't think it's still nothing. It's still nothing good in the grand scheme of things. I've read a comment about concerning what's been caught on video, and about Planned Parenthood's dealings in abortion, and someone stated that I read a comment. It stated that Planned Parenthood is like they devote 93 they devote 3% of their work to dealing with abortions, which that still doesn't say anything good. That's like saying a husband devotes 3% of his time beating his wife or molesting his kids, um, as opposed to the other 97% of the time he's taking care of them. You still can't ignore the fucked up 3% that's going on, um, with any organization. And I want to connect this to the outrage about a lion that was killed by an American dentist. The lion was name was Cecil, which I think is kind of screwed up. That I know the lion's name, but I don't remember the dentist's name, but I do remember he's a dentist. And I think it's weird that it's nothing new. I remember reading articles about people who go on these hunting trips. I remember there was one. Um, there was a teenager who killed an albino deer, and people were saying, he was so evil for doing that. It was such a wrong thing for him to do. How can he kill something so beautiful? And albino deer is a genetic defective deer. If anything, that's second. First thing is, it's a deer. It's not a human being. It's not a child. It's a deer. And I don't know about anybody else, but a deer is going to take the back seat a back seat of importance in conjunction with a human life. I mean, in relation to a human life. And you have these same people that anytime someone goes on like a hunting trip, and they kill an animal that looks nice, that people think is so beautiful and majestic. They went up sending death threats to the hunter, which I think is kind of counterproductive, that you would send a death threat to a person who has proven themselves capable of killing a dangerous animal. You can tell that they're not firing all cylinders when they send these death threats. Um, but with that story, and then hearing about Planned Parenthood potentially um, selling human flesh. What I don't what you want to call it, fetus tissue or whatever. It's human flesh. And whether this is something that should is not that important. It makes me wonder: does human life really matter in in our current society? It's not looking good. And there's even another article I just read today, dealing with the guy in Chattanooga who shot up those recruiting stations. The one where one of the men who survived that attack shot back with his handgun, a handgun he broke. He broke the rules and brought it with him to work. He was a recruiter, and I'm gonna try to find an article again and include it in the description box. It said that the article states that he may face a court martial for doing so. And it makes me wonder, would you expect the guy to do? Did you expect him just to sit there and be a sitting duck? You know, I don't know whether we place a higher value on animals' lives, or we don't, or we don't want to actually call out evil actions for what they are and deal with them accordingly. This even goes back to with any shooting, especially ones with children getting killed. Do are we gonna? Why is it hard for people to come to actually realize that there are dangers out there that pose threats to human life, and we should do all we can, not do what we feel, but do what must be done to protect one another, protect ourselves. It makes me wonder: does human life really matter in our current society? It seems like feelings matter, human feelings matter. Um, just like this whole Black Lives Matter nonsense. I equate that with with hands up, don't shoot. They're both stupid ideas. Um, really fueled by feelings and not rational thought. Really, do they really do matter? Going back to um, going back to Planned Parenthood. If black communities support these institutions being in their neighborhood and being in their neighborhoods, if they support their actions, do Black lives really matter? Does human life really matters at the end of the day? Now that's not the now I can't paint a broad brush and say that's how it is with everybody. I won't do it with myself. I won't do it with whoever's viewing this video. I mean, you know yourself well enough to know whether human life matters to you or not. But it seems like in our society, it just seems to be some people an inconvenience, a burden they have to deal with people, and they don't they don't either they think it's fine, lessening the numbers, lessening the value of human life, or they think it's fine to just push it aside, and pay more attention to things that make us feel good. We're worrying about a lion or a albino deer. You know, but I'm not down and out. I didn't. I haven't given up. I haven't given up on. I haven't given up on this culture outright. If I did, I wouldn't be doing this video. I wouldn't be doing other videos. Um, I still think there's hope for things to be corrected, for things to turn around, and I still want to do this video just to share my thoughts on things that are going on currently, um, and concerns with the value of a human life. I believe the human life is precious. Um, I believe a child's life is precious, and we should do what we can to protect those lives and protect ourselves from the hazards that are out there. Not just the physical hazards, but but even just hazardous thinking. This thinking that some lives we shouldn't care about. We should want them to be destroyed, which and and we want them to be destroyed to benefit ourselves in some fashion. Which no, if we shouldn't work to destroy lives unless the actions of that life warrant it, truly warrant it. But these are my thoughts. Tell me what you think. Do you think an extremist? I mean, hopefully I am an extremist. I hope I'm on the side of good and wholesome and decency. I hope I'm on that extreme. Um, Tell me what you think. What are your thoughts on Planned Parenthood? Lions, tigers, and bears getting killed. Things like that. Please like to read your thoughts. Send me a PM if you have any questions you want to answer, or please leave a comment in the comment section. If it's your first time checking out my channel, this is it. Please check out my older videos to gain more information on various topics. Any gripes, complaints, you know the spiel. Send me a PM. I'll see what I can do. But that's my video. Do lives matter? I'm Edward Jones, and thanks for watching.